guys, we are here with our February TBR list. We've all got some pretty good reading goals, I think. Going strong on 2018 so far, so let's go. The first one on my list for February is The Boy, the Bird, and the Coffin Maker by Matilda Woods. This one is a magical realism story about an old man who lives in a seaside town, and one day a magical bird flies in his window and a young boy follows closely behind. And it's just a story of the way that they sort of all interact with each other's lives, and that's about all I know. I love magical realism. I haven't actually read any in a while, so I'm very excited about this one. Plus, this one is fully illustrated and like just gorgeous with blue writing and illustrations and little like details around all of the pages. So that alone I'm very intrigued by. And yeah, so that's my first one for February.
So the first book I want to get to is Fragile Things by Neil Gaiman. This is my next Neil Gaiman book for 2018. This is a collection of his short stories. It has great reviews. Some of the stories in here sound really interesting. As always, I love Neil Gaiman's writing, so I cannot wait to get through this one.
So one book I really want to read this month is Legacy by Jessica Blank. This is the story about a girl named Allison who's going through a really hard time. Her brother has recently passed away and things at home are just really terrible, and she ends up running away and joining a radical environmentalist group in Washington State Park, which I just think sounds like such an intriguing plot line. Like, I've never heard of another book like this. I like that it takes place in the Pacific Northwest, which is where I live, and I think it's just going to be a really interesting and hard-hitting contemporary, which is what I'm in the mood for.
Next up for me is Nightbooks by J.A. White. J.A. White wrote the Thickety series, for anybody who's familiar with that one, and it sounds like this is a standalone novel, at least for now, but it's really cool. Basically, the main character sneaks out one night and is kidnapped by a witch, and the only way that he's able to stay alive is to tell her a new scary story every night. It sounds like a very cool exploration of storytelling with some spookiness behind it, and I can't wait.
Next up, I have Contagion by Erin Bowman. Now, I have read Erin Bowman's first book, Vengeance Road, and that book sounds very different than this one, but I really liked it, so I have high hopes. Now, this book seems to be kind of like a sci-fi mystery thriller. It sounds like some kind of SOS comes from a foreign planet, and a small team of people are sent there to find out what happens, and when they arrive, it's all dead bodies. And I guess it just sounds like it's about them trying to figure out what went down. It sounds creepy, and I love sci-fi. Obviously, this is going to be very different than the Western Vengeance Road, but I think it's going to be a really fast and really fascinating read.
And another book that I've been eagerly anticipating and can't wait to read is The Dangerous Art of Blending In by Angelo Surmelis. And this is a contemporary novel about a boy who is dealing with an abusive mother at home and a father who's not really present. And to make things harder, he's also started realizing that he has feelings for his best friend. And I just think that this is going to be a really moving story about coming of age. It sounds like it's going to be really, really sad, but I think that I'm going to really enjoy it. I've heard nothing but good things so far, so I can't wait to read this one.
And the last one on my list is Future Home of the Living God by Louise Erdich. Louise Erdich is an Indigenous author. I believe she's Canadian. The only one that I've read of hers is The Roundhouse a few years ago, and I loved it. It was like heartbreaking and just so beautifully written. Don't really know what the plot is about, but I know that it is like a dystopian future. I definitely encourage you to go onto Goodreads or wherever you get your book information and read a little bit of a synopsis if you want to know more of what this is about, because they will do a better job of explaining it than I will. But the inside cover says, an unexpected dystopian thriller from a writer of startling originality. It's a moving meditation on female agency, love, self-determination, biology, and natural rights. So I think this one's going to be quite a heavy hitter, and I'm looking forward to diving in.
Another book I really hope to get to in February is Invictus by Ryan Graudin. I have been seeing nothing but good reviews of this book, and having read Wolf by Wolf last month and also enjoying The Walled City, I just know I'm going to like this one. It's right on the back, it says it's Doctor Who meets Guardians of the Galaxy, and like that line itself just immediately draws me in. I love both those things. It sounds like time-traveling pirates kind of going through different versions of history. Our main character, Faraway Gaius McCarthy, is the son of a time traveler and a Roman. It's just sounds super weird and fast-paced, and I cannot wait to read it.
And then finally, another book that I'm really excited to read is 9 by Zach Hines. And this is kind of like a futuristic dystopian novel about like society essentially everybody has 9 lives, and you get incentives for burning through your lives, but it's totally up to you how many lives you go through and how fast. Our main character, Julian, has a friend group that is obsessed with burning through their lives, but Julian is trying to hold on to his first life for as long as he possibly can. His mother burned through all of hers really fast, and it was a terrible thing that happened to her. In this world, they're also really concerned with overpopulation, so the regime does ask people to burn through their lives and gives them different incentives for doing so. And I just think that this book is going to be really thought-provoking, kind of similar to Scythe by Neil Shusterman, which was one of my favorite books of last year. So I'm curious to see if I like this one as much.
So those were just a few of the books that we are really looking forward to reading in February. We'd love to know what you are looking forward to reading this month as well. Don't forget it's OwlCrate-a-thon, so get those OwlCrate books. As per usual, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Happy reading, and thanks for being awesome. Bye!
Bye!